Imagine a world of emperors, gladiators, and political intrigue brought to life with breathtaking detail and raw emotion. Now imagine that world, just as it was hitting its stride, being ripped away from you. That's the story of HBO's Rome, a historical epic canceled far too soon, despite its impressive 86% Rotten Tomatoes score. It's a tragedy of television history, and here's why it deserves so much more. Rome, a collaborative effort between HBO and the BBC, debuted in a pre-Game of Thrones landscape, where lavish, high-budget series were still a risky gamble. The show's production costs were astronomical, and the streaming revolution hadn't yet reshaped viewing habits. Back then, the idea of binge-watching entire seasons or a show running for 8+ years wasn't the norm. Shows were often cut short, or dragged on way too long. Rome fell victim to this transitional period, meeting an untimely end after only 2 seasons. Even with a rushed and somewhat uneven second season, Rome remains a masterclass in prestige television. The show's immense budget was brilliantly utilized to create an immersive world, brimming with an almost obsessive attention to historical detail. Every costume, every weapon, every set piece was meticulously crafted to enhance the show's complex and compelling world building. But here's the thing. All the spectacle in the world wouldn't matter if the story wasn't captivating. And Rome delivers in spades, offering a bleak, often salacious, and always enthralling drama that echoes the grand sweep of history and myth. While the financial and logistical reasons for the show's cancellation are understandable, it's hard not to feel a pang of disappointment knowing that Rome was originally envisioned as a 5-season epic. The creators had a clear roadmap, a vision for the characters and plot lines that would have unfolded over years. To have that vision cut short is a disservice to the show's creators, its cast, and most importantly, its audience. And this is the part most people miss. The potential that was squandered. Rome wasn't just a good show. It had the potential to be a truly great, generation-defining series. Instead of focusing solely on well-known figures like Julius Caesar or Cleopatra from the outset, Rome wisely chooses to ground its narrative in the lives of ordinary Roman soldiers, Lucius Vorenus, Kevin McKidd, and Titus Pullo, Ray Stevenson. These characters serve as our entry point into the world, allowing us to experience the everyday realities of Roman life through their eyes. Their struggles, their loyalties, and their flaws humanize a period often romanticized in history books. When the show eventually delves into Caesar's assassination and its tumultuous aftermath, it does so with a depth and nuance that is both entertaining and enlightening. After all, there's never a dull day in Rome, where political intrigue and unpredictable chaos are woven into the very fabric of existence. What exactly makes Rome so special, beyond its historical setting and well-known characters? Let's explore the elements that elevate this show above other historical dramas. Rome excels at blending historical accuracy with compelling storytelling. Much of its commitment to historical detail can be found in subtle design choices that might easily be overlooked. For example, Cato the Younger's distinctive toga, deliberately chosen to reflect his moral stance and defiance, is a small but significant detail that speaks volumes about the show's dedication to authenticity. While other historical dramas might gloss over such nuances, Rome consistently strives to honor its source material, adding layers of richness and depth to the narrative. Furthermore, the performances in Rome are uniformly superb, breathing life into these historical figures with passion and conviction. Kieran Hines, in particular, delivers a breathtaking portrayal of Julius Caesar, capturing the complex and contradictory nature of this iconic figure. Caesar's rise and fall are depicted with extraordinary skill, highlighting the personal and political forces that shaped his destiny. The show masterfully illustrates how these two aspects of his life were inextricably intertwined, blurring the lines between personal ambition and political necessity. Caesar's ironic title of dictator for life becomes a point of contention, fueling the resentment of his enemies, who include figures like Cicero, David Bamber, and Cato, Carl Johnson. But here's where it gets controversial. Caesar's closest allies, like Brutus, Tobias Menzies, pose an even greater threat, ultimately betraying him in a shocking act of political violence. The assassination scene itself is less about the act of violence and more about the tense, anxiety-ridden buildup, where every political maneuver adds layers to the meaning of a story saturated with constant bloodshed. This is why Rome is so effective. It doesn't shy away from the brutality of the era, but it also explores the psychological and emotional toll that violence takes on its characters. Some moments in Rome are undeniably more graphic and emotionally charged than others, but the overall effect is to immerse the viewer in a world of intense passions and high stakes. The performances are uniformly nuanced and compelling, bringing depth and complexity to even the supporting characters. Even the much-criticized storyline involving Mark Antony, James Purefoy, and Cleopatra, Winsey Marshall in Season 2, feels surprisingly earned, culminating in a memorable season finale that provides a satisfying conclusion to their respective arcs. The primary criticism of Season 2 is its frantic pace and its desperate attempt to tie up loose ends within a limited time frame. However, it's difficult to fault the showrunners for prioritizing substance over style given the circumstances. Ultimately, Rome is a must-watch for anyone who loves history or simply enjoys stories with epic scope and grandeur. It's a show that rewards close attention, offering layers of meaning and historical insight with each viewing. Any initial reservations you might have about the plot quickly fade as the story unfolds, leaving you with a yearning for more. Rome is a reminder of the potential that can be realized when creative vision meets skillful execution, and its cancellation remains one of television's great what-ifs. What do you think? Did HBO make a mistake canceling Rome? And what other shows do you think were cut short before their time? Share your thoughts in the comments below.